Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Thiesel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters. You can find us on the radio. You can also find us on television, Channel 182 Charter Communications, and Abundant Television. We are syndicated. And that's found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com and all the social media sites. I still do all of that. I've got some announcements coming up for you in just about 2 weeks. I'm exploding. I can't wait to tell you about it. So we're growing even farther. So thank you again so much for watching. Continue sending emails, Donna@donnasedge.com. Got one of my favorite folks with me right now, John Merrill, who is our celebrated former Alabama Secretary of State. John, always good to be with you.
Hey, Donna, good to see you, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And boy, it's going to be a fabulous one. I'm just so looking forward to the new year, and I know you are too.
Absolutely.
Well, our guy won presidency.
Yes, and we're very excited about that. As a matter of fact, Cindy and I are getting ready to leave to go to Washington for the inauguration, and Karen's been scheduling a lot of different things for us to be a part of while we're there, and it's going to be a very exciting time for about 4 or 5 days as we move forward to the 20th of January, where the president will actually take the oath of office once again.
Mm-hmm. I'm really excited about that. You know, and it's the funny rumors that are going out. By the way, social media, don't believe every single thing you see on social media. So I actually laughed at this one. So on social media, they were saying that J.D. Vance was not going to be there because he wanted to go to his favorite. I can't imagine
the
that.
Ohio State University national championship game. And of course, he would be there for the inauguration and for the swearing in, but he might very well decide that he wants to go and watch them play in the national championship game, and who could blame him?
Yeah, but he's not going to take a flight that I would have to take on a commercial airline. I mean, he could go straight from there and be there. Right. But anyway, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful things. Great things going on in the state of Alabama, too. And you're a big part of that with your company that you work with. And we're seeing Alabama grow by leaps and bounds, especially Gadsden, Alabama. What's going on with Gadsden?
Well, Gadsden does have a lot going on, and we have been working very, very closely with the city and with the mayor, and Craig Ford's doing a tremendous job as Gadsden's mayor. And of course, there's a lot of things that are happening in other parts of Etowah County as well, in Attala and Rainbow City and in Sardis and all across Glencoe, throughout the entire county. So it's not just relegated just to Gadsden proper, but there's nothing that's happening to this degree of what's happening actually in Gadsden. We're working with Gadsden Water and Sewer and trying to help them do some rehabilitation on their water and sewer lines so they can continue to provide the high quality service that their customers have come to expect. And we are excited about the work that we're doing with them there. Also trying to help them get some federal resources so they can do it at a greater level and a more efficient level.
Let's talk a little bit about, because there are towns all over the country who are watching us right now. And as we get emails from everybody. So let's talk about a town that really wants to grow. What do they need to do to help that process?
Well, the main thing you have to do is to have a plan on what you want to do in order to grow from where you are to where you hope to be. Because one of the things that's so necessary in order to make sure you grow properly, you have to have the appropriate infrastructure in place: water, sewer, roads, bridges, electricity, all the things that are necessary in order to be able to accept the growth that could come your way: residential, industrial, commercial, etc. Park design and development is so important to improving the overall quality of life for any community, and you want all those communities to be prepared for those opportunities that can present themselves as well. But you don't want to get in a position where you're restricted on your growth because you don't have a plan and you don't have the resources in order to attain the end result that you hope to find.
Phil and I have recently moved to South Carolina, and I might have some grandkids coming up. I got to be close to the Carolinas, you know how that is. So anyway, but we were looking for houses because we own Donna's Edge Talk Show, and so that's actually run. We have a studio and that kind of thing. But the first thing we asked for, even before electricity, before water, before anything, was a good internet service. and they have fiber there. And I'm just hearing the people who owned the house before we did said, you're going to love this. It's going to be great for your show. How important is internet now with more people working from home?
Internet is just as important a part of the infrastructure today as roads and bridges and water and sewer, because it's about connectivity. And I can't tell you how many communities have suffered, especially with their healthcare industry, because of the electronic transfer of data for records that have not been able to benefit because they didn't have the appropriate bandwidth to be able to carry those records and to make that happen the way that it needs to happen in an expedited fashion in order to provide quality, appropriate service for those individuals.
Mm-hmm. Because more and more people, I mean, even in a little town I was living in Alabama, there were people who were working for big box companies who were actually handling customer service out of a spare bedroom.
Absolutely. And you have to understand that that's where we are today. And that's required, whether it's on your own personal device, your telephone and your handheld computer, or if it's on your PC, or if it's watching television. Because many people today, instead of watching the major networks or subscribing to cable, subscribe to those services, many of which you're a part of in your rotation for your news delivery service. And people have an expectation that those needs are going to have to be met by a high quality service provider. And if they're not, they're going to go somewhere that it will be met.
I'm also happy to say Northeast Alabama Community College is one of my sponsors right here in North Alabama. And I'm glad to see a number of colleges across the United States are looking in to jobs other than having to have a degree. You know, you can go ahead and start with a trades job. What kind of emphasis are cities and towns putting on?
Well, not near enough, and not near enough in the state as a whole, because it's very important that people understand the purpose of education. Mm-hmm. The purpose of education is to ensure that you can become a lifelong learner, so you can be able to attain the goals that you have for yourself and for your family. So that's having a good job that provides you with a wage that makes you comfortable so you can continue to enjoy the things that are important to you. That does not necessarily mean that you need to have a degree from educational institution of higher learning. It does mean that you need to learn how you can learn and how you can accomplish goals and solve problems that are introduced to you. And that can happen at the elementary, middle school, and high school level, vocational school, training school, technical school, community college, or a four-year institution of higher learning. The most important thing is being open to those options and making sure that those options allow you to continue to move forward.
Mm-hmm. And the educational system is just, I mean, that's where it all begins. I happen to know a plumber who is a millionaire. But now he's invested money wisely. He's done all those things.
Sure.
But that's all he's ever done. And
well,
now
and
he
look,
goes to trade school to, keep up on, the newest technologies as well.
There have been conversations that I've been involved in where people speak of folks that don't have degrees from institutions of higher learning in not as favorable light as they would someone that does have a degree. But my question for you is, what person that has a history degree from Yale are you going to call when your car breaks down and you're stranded on the side of Highway 78? What person are you going to call when your plumbing fails, your pipes freeze, that's got a degree from Princeton in education? I'm not calling those people. I'm calling the person that I know I can depend on to restore my home to where it was before. And anybody that does not hold the people that have those very important jobs and very important positions in as high esteem as they do the others says something about that particular individual, not the ones that they're attempting to talk about.
There is a company in Gadsden, Alabama right now, and I spoke with them just a few weeks ago, and she has watched the show with you on it, and she loves those segments. But she said, one time you and Mr. Merrill were talking about how people can come into your town and walk into your business just to scout it out. just to see how people are. That's true, isn't it? She said she thought that somebody had been in her store just to see how the city of Gadsden.
No, I think that is true. And I think it's also important to understand that people will come in, especially people that are looking to relocate a business or expand an existing business in another community, who may come and visit your location to see how they're treated, to see how people interact with them, to see how comfortable they might be in coming to a place that they're not familiar with, to see how people will want to engage them, and see if that is exactly the location where they want to come and to bring their business. Because if they're not treated well, or if they don't like the way that people interact with them, that may discourage them from making that investment. They may choose to go to another location.
Oh, I happen to know that happened in Oxford, Alabama. Leon Smith, when he was the mayor, and Honda was coming into the area. And of course, we were all, it should be in Oxford and that kind of thing. And I was talking with him one time, because we did a lot of business together in the cell phone industry. And I said, why aren't you trying to get them to come to Oxford? And he said, we'll get all the benefits from it. And I said, well, how's that? And he said, they're going to need vendors. Sure enough, town of Oxford grew, not having the Honda company in Oxford.
Well, and look, because of where it did locate in Talladega County, a lot of the people that work there come from Oxford, they come from Calhoun County, they come from Cleveland County, they come from St. Clair County, they come from Coosa County, they come from all around that area, not just where it did locate. And when they go to get something to eat, they're not eating in Lincoln, they're actually going to Oxford, they're going to Anniston, they're going to the nice restaurants that they have over there. When they have people come in and spend the night, if they come from Birmingham, they come from Atlanta, they're spending the night in hotels that are in Oxford. So Mayor Smith was a visionary when it was come to talk about that particular investment and why it was important for them to play the role that they needed to play, even though they may not be the base site for the entity.
I was glad to see him rally behind that. I really was. And then later on, actually, right here in Rainsville, Alabama, there's a supplier for the Honda company, and also in Boaz, Alabama, another supplier.
Absolutely.
So you never know what's going to come out of it.
They're all around the state. Because of the just-in-time inventory notion, they want to make sure they can provide whatever service or whatever product needs to be provided in a timely fashion to assist the mother company in being able to provide the service that they need to provide, but not necessarily to be in the exact location or the exact home area where the mother company is.
Absolutely. John, we got to go into a break. Can you believe half the show is already over? Let's go to a break. We'll be right back in just a minute. Everybody hang in there, okay? Queen City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free.
The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain-fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is number one as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256-523-6462. That's 256-523-6462.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
We're back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show. You're the reason we do this. You know, you are absolutely fabulous. And I enjoy all of the emails we gather from you guys as well. So continue sending those, Donna at donnasedge.com. Got a real good friend with me right now. This guy, I'm going to tell you what, you were really good as Alabama Secretary of State. And because of that, I feel like we had a much more fair election. This is John Merrill with us right now, and he's also right now with Waggoner Engineering.
You're very kind to say that, Donna. We thoroughly enjoyed our work as Alabama's 53rd Secretary of State. We did have the privilege to administer 48 elections in our state. We did so without any incidences of occurrence that were negative. We thoroughly enjoyed the time that we spent working for the people in that role. And when we left the position, we were recognized as the #1 state in the union for election transparency, accountability, and integrity. And that took a lot of work to get to that point. We're very proud of the success that we've experienced in that role.
Well, I'll tell you what, it got the attention of other governors all across the United States and President Trump.
That's right.
So that was awesome right there. Let's talk a little bit about Waggoner Engineering. Now, how many states do you guys actually help?
So we have 19 offices in 6 states in the District of Columbia, and our goal is to transform communities and to help those communities be able to grow into what they desire to be by providing the kind of quality of life that people want to have when they move to a particular community, to help existing industry and business in that community be all they can possibly be, and to help the municipalities and the counties in which we work in those particular states be able to grow and provide the services that they want to provide for their constituents, as well as to help them be able to become all they can possibly be in order to continue to grow and be as strong as they can possibly be.
Absolutely. Okay, things happen in the world. We had COVID. We all know about COVID. Some of us, it actually helped our businesses, but it could be our mindset. So what kind of strength did Waggoner Engineering give people when COVID hit? We all thought it was the end of the world.
Well, there are a number of different things that we were able to do to benefit our clients, but one of the things that enabled us to do is to concentrate more on how we could provide services for the people we were already working with and help them accomplish their goals. And I think a lot of times what can happen to a company, not that this happened to us, but it can happen to anybody. It can happen to a government, it can happen to a private business, it can happen to individuals, is that whenever you are attacked, like COVID attacked so many people, you can lose your perception about what you're actually doing. And one of the things that came from the COVID that we are all able to benefit from today more than we were before the COVID is just what we're doing today, which is to have a communication platform where we're able to talk and we're able to talk about how we can improve the things that we're able to impact and do that in a way where people can see us. Whereas before, it was almost like, well, if we can't physically go to the location where people are trying to interview us or trying to interact with them, or how we can instruct them from a particular location. Now we might have meetings where there could be 4 or 5 people involved, there could be 450 people involved. And you do that by using available technology. And I think one of the things that COVID did for Waggoner, as well as the people that we work with, is it helped them see how we could utilize technology to benefit them and to benefit their growth and help them plan better for the future.
Mm-hmm. And planning is all okay. So if I'm in a small town and I would like to have better internet service, what do people need to do to implement that within the? Does it start with the mayor? I mean,
it can. There are in Alabama, for example, and in most other states in the union that I'm aware of, there is an ongoing effort to expand the services being provided by those people that are behind the internet structure. And that has been an edict from the federal government, where they want us to be able to allow, in Alabama, for example, all 67 counties to have access, all 464 municipalities to have access, the rural communities in those counties to have access, and to be able to provide it in a way that you know that your service will not be interrupted. You can communicate the way that you want to communicate with the people that you're attempting to talk to. And that's a true benefit. So if you don't have the kind of service that you want, you need to start by having a conversation with your elected officials so you can see what's the next step that needs to be taken by you or by them in order to provide that service for the end user.
Mm-hmm. And let's talk about that a little bit. What can we do as citizens to make our area a better place?
Well, one of the things that can be done, especially when we're talking about services that need to be provided, is going to those town council meetings, going to those county commission meetings, and talking about what current services we're receiving and how we'd like to see other services expanded. Now, a lot of times people will say, I want this to happen, but I don't want to pay for it. And when they do that, it puts them in a position where they feel like, well, why should I have to pay for something like that that's actually being provided for free in other communities? Well, you don't really know what the free is, because somebody's having to pay for it. Could be the service provider, could be in cable television, for example, the cable service provider. There's a lot of different ways for those things to be accessed and to be paid for. But usually they're with contracts that are initiated by the vendor with the municipality or with the county that enables them to reach a consensus about what services will be provided and what resources are going to be available to those communities from the service provider. Those are those are debated, discussed, and negotiated every day.
Absolutely. Well, I'll have to tell you, Family Dollar must be doing something. There's one on every corner now. We even had two in the small town we were living in. Let's talk a little bit about water and sewage, though, because I happen to know in the town I was living in, McDonald's, they had approached McDonald's about coming into the town, and they checked everything out and said, no, it's the water and sewage. That's an issue. How can that be improved?
Well, it has to be improved by the governing body that monitors the water and sewage usage. In some municipalities or some counties, that's run by the county government or the city government. In others, it's run by utility boards that are set aside through legislative acts that enable those utility boards to establish the service that is provided, whether it's just water or just sewer or a combination. Also, at what level it's going to be provided. Are you using 6-inch pipes? Are you using 8-inch pipes? Are you using 20-inch pipes? Why are you doing that? What kind of treatment service do you have? Do you have a lagoon service? Do you have a service provider that treats the water and returns the water to the customer in a way that you and I could go and feel very confident in drinking the water that had just come out and just been treated? But it varies from community to community, and that's why it's important to have a good service provider, but also somebody that is a professional like our firm that works with those communities to make sure they're getting all they can get out of the filter system and the delivery system that they currently have in their location.
Absolutely. Well, John, you've been a champion of people in all 67 states of the state of Alabama, and you've been very well received. So what is a common thread? What do people really want? It doesn't matter if it's a big city or a small town. What do people want in their town?
Well, it's been my observation that most people like things pretty much the way that they are, but if there's growth to occur, they want that growth to be structured. They want it to be managed. They don't want the government to be overreaching in what they're currently experiencing. They want to be able to continue to have the same benefits that they had when they were a smaller community, but to do so with more choices. And when they get that, that's when I think they're the happiest, whether it's with their parks, whether it's with their grocery stores, whether it's with the industry and the jobs that are provided for that community. And same thing with the schools, because most communities don't want a gigantic school. They want to have that same small school flavor that they grew up with.
Absolutely. You're spot on. John, can you believe it? 30 minutes has flown by. It's so great to have you on the show as always.
It's always good to be with you, Donna. I look forward to seeing you in person next time.
Same here. Tell Cindy I said hello, okay?
You will.
And thank you guys so much for watching. Continue sending emails, Donna@donnasedge.com. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.